Hey everybody. So what I'm here to talk about is the immune system. So in this era that we're living in right now, what's interesting is very few people are talking about the immune system. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to increase your immune system. Go out in the sun. Sun has your body produce vitamin D, which increases testosterone, which increases your immune system. Makes your whole body function a whole lot better, okay? Going out in nature, putting your feet in the grass, getting that electrical charge from the earth, increase your immune system, makes your body stronger. Government closed parks, putting that out there. If you live by water like the beach, a lot of America doesn't, but if you do, go on the beach, okay? Especially where the sand is wet, because there's an electrical charge when the water hits the sand, and the magnetic energies, the negative ions, all of that, charges up your body, makes it stronger, increase your immune system. But wait, they closed down the beaches. So nature, I want to be clear on this. So nature, as one of the top things that can increase your immune system, so that you're naturally empowered to fight off viruses, bacteria, or anything else, that's been closed off. Okay, sunlight, and even the aspect of UV rays that are talked about as being so harmful, right? Okay, so UV rays actually kill viruses and bacteria. So if you are outside on the beach, or not on the beach, and just in the sun, viruses and bacteria don't like the heat. They die very quickly when exposed to UV rays. So the place that it's the safest, the place that increases your immune system the most, activity such as exercise and more movement, rather than being indoors, away from the sun, away from the natural air, okay? So these things, this is what increases the immune system. Even socializing, connecting with people. There's been studies that have been done that people who spend a lot of time by themselves and don't socialize, okay, and especially around machines a lot, their immune system is lower. Their happiness level, lower. Okay, so now they want to create a world where you contact people more through things like this, or through Zoom, or whatever it is, Teledoc, all these kinds of things, okay, as opposed to in person. So, for one, being around machines, that's already been proven. Now let's say radiation from phones lowers the immune system. It's not that the 5G networks are causing viruses like some people think. It's that the radiation, the positive ions from being around machines negatively impact our immune system. Okay, so they prescribe being home, being out of the sun, not being social, not connecting with nature, connecting through machines more. That's the prescription. That's the health prescription from the government, and all of those things are things that lower your immune system. So is that the one that, and they always say, like, you know, well, they're using science. So it sounds to me like they're using science to make you weaker. If you follow their prescription, if you think they're your father and your doctor, and you're following that prescription, you are going along a path of being weaker. Why do they want you weaker when they know all this? Well, there's money to be made, right? There's vaccines. There's pharmaceutical treatments. Because if you are so weak, you both believe you're weak and make your system weak, right? Because they tell you you're weak first, okay? Then mandate you do things that make you weaker, all right? And then when you actually realize, like, hey, look, I guess I actually am, really susceptible to these things, then you need them to save you. So then they're the savior, they get money, they get your loyalty, and all those things like that. All right, so this is a really, really dangerous manipulative circle going on here. So where the actual prescription, the prescription that I would give you guys, that I've learned from doctors, countless articles that I've read, things like that, is you go out in the sun. If you can, go out in nature, okay? Where you can, go out and socialize. That uplifts your immune system too, all right? And just do the normal smart things we would do if anybody else was sick. If you found out a friend of yours was sick, you just randomly met him on the street, like, hey, what's up, bro? You know, and you go, and he's like, oh, hey, man, I'm sick. You go, okay, you back off. You don't hang out with them at that point, but you go and you hang out with somebody else. It's okay, you do that, all right? And it keeps your immune system up. Human-to-human contact, immune system goes up. Being in the sun, immune system up. Exercise, nature, all of that, immune system up. What brings it down? Being home, being in the dark, not exercising, being around too many machines. All the things the government is prescribing you to do. Now, here's the big one. And I recently just found this out listening to a PhD, listening to a doctor about this, the whole wearing the mask thing. Realize that doctors wear the masks not to protect themselves from patients, but to protect the patients from what they may have. Okay, so they're not created to protect you from receiving some kind of sickness. It's more about preventing if you have something, right? So like a doctor doing surgery, he doesn't want to accidentally spit in the person's stomach that he just ripped open, right? Okay, so check this out. Coming from a doctor, what I listening to a lecture is he said that when you wear a mask, you are impeding your oxygen flow. You are getting an insufficient amount of oxygen per breath. So what happens? Your body's response to that is that your cortisol levels start shooting up, okay? Because your body recognizes there's something wrong. So the stress hormone is released. When cortisol goes up, guess what? Your immune system goes down. And then the fact that your breathing is irregular and your whole respiration process is de minimis because of it, all right, that puts it's another reason for your body to release a stress hormone. So you're never supposed to wear that for any kind of length of time. So there's two reasons why it lowers your immune system. So whatever effect you think it is good, you're fucking up your immune system by wearing the mask. All right, so I just want you to realize the prescription of all the like 5 to 7 different things that you're being told to do make you weaker, make you more susceptible, and disempower you. They'll do it under the guise of it's protecting you or protecting other people. But the thing that actually protects people is for people to be empowered. But they don't want people to be empowered because if you're empowered, you don't need them. Think about that. It's really important. And they have scientists on their team. They have doctors on their team. They know the things that are increasing and decreasing your immune system. This isn't foreign to them. So I want you to ask yourself, why would they tell you to do things that they all know decreases your immune system? It is done on purpose. Who benefits? Like I said, the government, the pharmaceutical system, the control, the fear, you need them, all those things like that. And when they come out with these vaccines, whatever you do, do not let them shoot you with that vaccine. It is also proven that vaccines, even ones they've developed for 5 to 10 years and been using, are dangerous and can have long-term side effects, long-term health problems, things like that. Who knows what the fuck they're injecting you with? And now they want to fast track it and have a vaccine in 12 to 18 months when normal safety protocols are 5 to 10 years long? Please, people, do not allow them to shoot you up with a vaccine. Remember this, okay? And I encourage you to do your own research. Like everything that I'm saying, I know is backed up by actual science. So any of you could take any of the things that I'm saying and look it up and see, hey, does Yasha know what he's talking about? And you will find for yourself. I encourage you to do that. You'll find everything that I'm saying is absolutely true and proven very easily by science. Okay? So again, with the scientists on their team, they mandate you to do things that decrease your immune system. Who's really on your side? This is about freedom. This is about empowerment. But you got to understand, for people who want to stay in power, as long as they convince you that you're weak and you don't have power, it's easy for them to stay in power. You then are hypnotized to actually say, well, I want them in power because they're a savior. Okay, they can make sure I'm okay. Oh boy. So that's this is the immune talk, and it's again, like closing down fitness centers and everything else like that. And the thing that got me so crazy enraged was I found a little patch of grass near Muscle Beach, where I live. I live nearby, 20 minutes walk from. Is that me and a bunch of guys would like work out in nature on that grass and push-ups, doing curls, doing the bands, things like that, free weight squats in nature. They put a wooden fence with wires around that now, as of a couple days ago. Like, it's that serious. Like, they took the time to actually lop off and barricade an area where I was doing push-ups on the grass? Like, that's killing people? Like, this is a danger to society? So, being there with our shirts off, getting the sun, communicating, exercising, touching nature, all these things that are good for the immune system that would have us be some of the people that are going to walk around strong, they put a fence around that. They put a fence around that. I want you to really think about that. This is not about protecting people or good advice or anything. They put a fence around a piece of grass. And I'm telling you, government, go fuck yourself, all right? You can't do that. You just can't do that. And you know what? This is going to produce some very, very crazy people that are going to do some things that should be done, okay? Because we don't accept this. We don't accept this. I reject this, all right? So it's like, you know, we're going to take these walls down, all right? We're going to start marching. You know, I'm really thinking about putting a coalition together. You know, start marching on Gavin's house. Maybe what I'll do is I'll hire a company to put a fence around Governor Gavin's house. He said, what happened? There's a fence around my house. Well, yeah, motherfucker, you put a fence around my house, nature, that you have no right to do. Why don't I just put a fence around your house, making you safe? Right? So you don't do something that, you know, because God forbid you walk out and you put that in the air. And so the other thing, this comes to the thing, is that this fucking thing is nowhere near as deadly as they make it seem. And I want you to know, I'll just add this in. I have a lot of contacts with people who work in hospitals. All these numbers are faked. All these numbers are faked. You're wondering why the amount of deaths each day is not going down on the natural viral bell curve that normally happens. That's because every death that occurs in the hospitals, they mark as a COVID death. And I'm going to talk about this in my next video more. And absolute insider truth. So anyway, go against the prescription of the government, because guess what? I gave you that, I told you the prescription is a prescription for lowering your immune system if you listen to the government. Don't wear a fucking mask unless you want to be weak. Unless you want to be weak. If you want to be weak and disempower yourself and your system, wear that fucking mask. But if you want to be empowered and natural and being able to heal yourself, don't wear that mask. If when you go into a store to get food, they force you to do it, okay, that's the only time I wear it. I don't wear it on the street. Like these people that go on the beach and they're jogging or walking in the sand, they're wearing a fucking mask. I'll tell all y'all, you're idiots for wearing a mask like that. You are stopping yourself from getting the very nutrients that your body needs to be healthy. And your carbon dioxide, you're breathing into the mask and then you're immediately breathing it back in. You're poisoning yourself. And you're not getting the nutrients in the air, not getting the oxygen that the trees are going to give you. And of course, they don't want you to be around nature to get that oxygen that would keep you healthy, right? So, but you know what? Listen to the government. They have your best interest at heart. Or is it their own pocketbook? You know, their own lobbyists. I think they actually have them in your heart a little bit. But you know what? Please, people, do your own research. I did all this research, right? So you don't have to, but I still encourage you to do it. I still encourage you to look for yourself and actually see if all the things I'm saying are true or if they're false. That sunlight, socializing, oxygen, exercise, nature, all those things like that. See if there's anything scientific that says that doesn't increase your immune system and your health. It absolutely does. But I challenge you to do that. And after you have that information, can you really do anything different? If you do something different, you are destroying yourself. You're making yourself weaker, right? When you find out things like sugar is degenerative, okay, and degenerates your bones and your muscles, how much sugar, once you know that, how much sugar would you really eat if you knew it was going to do that to you, right? Less. You certainly will have less, all right? So do the research, people. I just gave you the information. Take off these fucking masks. Go out in nature. Go out in the sun. Socialize. Empower yourselves. That's the message. We all have the power to be healthy without the government.